Welcome to Metropolitan Faces, the podcast about subway photography. I'm Blake Eskin. Today, I'm speaking with Nina R. Nina?
Hello, Professor Eskin. What a pleasure to be here today. So honored that you have invited me to talk about my photography.
Well, it's great to have you here, and I enjoy looking at your work. And thank you for meeting us here at the New School. You said this was kind of on your flight path between the office and home?
That's correct. I commute from Forest Hills to Brooklyn. Before I used to commute to the city. So it's a long ride with a lot of transfers.
A lot of it seems to involve the F train. I see the 63rd Street and Lexington station in there.
Yes, that is where I transfer from the F to the Q. That's been my hub for many years, although lately I've changed path. Now I transfer at Court Square. But I spent many years stopping there daily, so that's why there are so many pictures taken from that station.
And that station's kind of a tough place to take pictures, right?
That's correct. It's not the easiest for sure, but since I get to go there daily for so long, I had my opportunities, and some are there posted.
There's one picture, and I guess you're listening, so you can't see it yet, so we're going to describe it for you. There's one picture you took at Lexington and 63rd. It's of a couple, and
yes.
They're wearing masks, and
yes.
They're lovers.
So post-pandemic, 21, and I love to capture people expressing emotions and love spontaneously, and so this is one of them. But this is special because this couple, they are not really embracing each other, they're not touching each other, their hands are not holding each other. It's only their foreheads making contact in their eyes, so it's an eye-to-eye. Quite intense, romantic moment, and then there's the background of the station with the black and white striping that gives a lot of texture and contrast that work fantastically well.
Yeah, and that kind of horsey type from the, I don't know, I hate that lowercase e in the Lexington 63rd station. I just find it's just, but yeah, it's like a romantic stare down almost.
Yes.
But not a conflict. It doesn't seem
No.
like it's really intimate.
It is.
And what I think is one of the things that's so interesting is that they are masked. I mean, his mask is down only over his mouth. Her mask is over her nose and mouth, and yet they are together.
That's right, and it's just to show the mask do not really pose as a barrier between people, let alone to stop them from expressing emotions. And even on the train, on the streets, people with masks can get to express a lot. You'd be surprised. And there's one of my favorite pictures, a similar situation on the Q train. This couple, which is perpendicular to me, you know how the seats on the Q train are perpendicular to each other. And so I was able to take this front picture of them, and there's such an expression of happiness of this couple being together, yet again, they're not embracing. It's just they're just making a connection with their heads and with their nose, and smiling at each other. You can see it through just the expression of their eyes. And there's so much happiness expressed here, and at the same time, so many textures and contrast. It's a fantastic picture. It's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a great tonal range in that picture. And so you didn't grow up riding the subway in New York.
That's correct. You can see I have an accent. I'm originally from Venezuela, and no contact with train. There's a subway, a metro in Caracas where I grew up, but I used it rarely, a couple of times perhaps.
Who rides the subway in Caracas?
No, a lot of people do.
They do.
But from the area where I lived and the way I lived, there was no need for me or my family to use it.
So you come to New York, like a dozen years ago, something like that?
So it's been 20-something years, maybe 22 years. First via Miami and then here to New York since 2010.
Okay, and when you arrived, you're already a practiced photographer, or?
No, not at all. But since I'm an architect in architecture school, I've been surrounded by photography, and that follows me daily. So I live and breathe art and photography, especially black and white is what I like. But I have no prior education in photography. So I'm an amateur, just take my iPhone and take pictures.
Although you put together quite a sort of syllabus on your Pinterest board. This is one of the most amazing Pinterest boards I've ever seen.
Thank you.
And just a range of art and photography, and especially some vintage photography, pictures around, on themes like, collections of like, love during wartime, and photo booth pictures, and, fashions of 100 years ago.
Yes.
You have a category here called Time Machine.
Mm-hmm. That was the first board in which I started taking, and then I started creating specifics, and they kept growing and growing into specific subjects, like the International Exposition one, and then the specific photographers. You see Edward Weston there. You have the Time Machine London only. Yes, there's boards and boards of specifics.
And your pictures, your feed is a little bit of a time machine too, in a way.
Yeah, quite nostalgic. If I could travel in time, I would. Yes, that's that speaks a lot of me. You can see I live more in the past than the future.
And where would you go in the past?
Where would I go? I think that first I would go to the 20s. I have a fascination for the roaring times, the flappers, and Paris in the 1920s. I will also go to the 1940s, as terrible as it looks. Ever since I'm a child, I have been studying World War II, so especially how Londoners lived through the Blitz, and I don't know what it is, but I will go back to the 1940s, England. Who knows, maybe 1860s in Paris. I don't know. But yes, I will travel in time if I could.
And then the other thing I saw is that you go on one of these nostalgia tours.
Nostalgia trains.
And tell us what that is. And
so this is an event that takes place every Christmas time. I think it's between the week between Christmas and New Year's, in which the MTA on like 3 consecutive Sundays, I believe, take these old trains, and people get to hop on them and ride them, and sometimes they have live music, and people come dressed in fashion, which I adore. That's one of the so many passions that I have is historical costumes, and so it's a fantastic event.
Mm-hmm. And so you took this ride, and I guess it's the first time you did that, and you've done that a few times.
Yes.
And then so how do you get from, because there's some, and is that you at the nostalgia ride?
Me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then there's this picture where there's like a conductor staring at you.
Yes.
And you have half of your face, and does the conductor understand what's happening?
No,
that you're
not
taking
at
a
all.
picture?
Not
So
at all.
how are you physically? So basically, this is a portrait of a conductor, and about half of Nina's face, and this is in black and white, although it's not quite the black and white that you arrive at.
Right. These are the earlier pictures before I decided to go only black and white.
And so how did you, like physically, how does this happen?
Well, I was taking pictures with the background of the train that have so many textures, like the one above.
Mm-hmm.
And he was passing by, and I was still there trying to take my selfie. And suddenly just the angle just made it happen.
Okay.
He
So
never realized that he was in the picture.
Right. So it's basically a selfie gone a
Yes.
little off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. But then you get to this style, and you decide to set up an account.
Yes.
And that account is it's Nina at NYC Subway, or
Yes.
that's Nina _AT _NYC _Subway. Although we'll give you a link later. And so so you decide to set this up like early 2018, I think.
That's correct.
And so why? And
Because I realized that since I was already doing this for the original account, I decided to do something unique that was exclusive of one theme and just try to make it go global. Like, if you have an Instagram account that is just personal, it is personal. But I wanted to create something where I could showcase to the world what I see of the city I love. And the best place to do that was inside the train and the stations.
Mm-hmm. So you have, as we were talking about, it's sort of an extensive file of images that a whole picture library, art library. But like, who are your specific heroes when you're photographing? Like, is there like a, are you trying to emulate a certain look from a certain era? Is there one photographer or a couple of artists, or is it just kind of a mix?
Well, it's like you see my Instagram account, I'm really into vintage. And I cannot go back in time. But perhaps that is the reason why black and white photography resonates so much with my soul and who I am. So that is my source of inspiration, and all those amazing, big, original photographers back in the day, really creative, and they have inspired me through the years. But not one in specific. It's
not
the whole
one in
mass.
specific.
Yes.
Okay, all right. It's just kind of a combination of all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you use just an iPhone or whatever iPhone, and you just upgrade sometimes. But are you just using the regular camera app? Like, what's your workflow?
Yes,
how do you?
The pictures, are taken with the regular camera app. I have a remote shooter. That's as much as I can tell you. How I take the pictures without nobody noticing.
Oh, you have a remote trigger.
Yes, I do. No, otherwise it just wouldn't work.
So that means your frame, you're not necessarily seeing the frame when you shoot.
I never do.
Me neither.
I never do. Yes, they are spontaneous. I had to take many to pick one that actually worked. But I get into the train and I'm set up. My phone is hanging here next to my bag, and I just take pictures.
So it's like, so you mount it on your bag, and
let's say this is my phone, and I'm holding my bag on my shoulder, like every woman does, and just so many people do.
Right. So and like this is basically like, you're basically holding the strap of your purse because we're on the subway and people take purses on the subway.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you're securing it, kind of with your elbow in the back and your hand in the front, you've got the phone there.
Yes. And I know I already know what the frame is going to be, obviously. So I don't need to look at the camera to know what I'm capturing.
And how long did it take you to learn the frame?
Perhaps a year. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, it took me a couple years too. Yeah.
Yes.
And so you do that. You take a bunch of pictures. They're taken in color because you're not shooting through a filter or something like that.
No.
And then you go to Photoshop. Then you go to do it on the phone.
I used the editing tools on Instagram. I have had many apps that sometimes help me to improve, let's say, textures. But truth is that the Instagram one is pretty good. Mm-hmm. So that's what I use the most.
So you're shooting maybe like you're taking 100 pictures for one that you post, 1,000 pictures when you post.
I will say at least like between 10 and 15. Not that many. Besides, things happen too fast. So I only have so much time to take pictures of one capture, let's say, of the specific that I'm looking at. So not that many.
Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I'll see a big run of them in stories.
Oh, yes, of course.
And do you post all of the ones that you put in stories, or that's kind of like your selects and the posts are your...
Yes, I take care to just post those that I think are worth posting, although all of them are worth posting, but I have a life. I cannot be, because when I post, the editing, I really care about the angles. Like I said, I go with the tools on Instagram editing, and it has to be perfect in my view. And so through the years, I've been getting more and more demanding, and so I don't post as much, but I have thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures.
There's one that I saw that I haven't been able to find called, where you just wrote, "This picture makes me happy."
Oh, that's probably people reading books.
And it was a picture of people. So let me go see if
Yes,
I...
that's on the Q train, and everybody's holding a book.
Mm-hmm. And so why did that make you happy?
Because I'm a bookworm as well, and when I see people reading, I just get excited with it. And in this particular case, I just turn, and basically everybody had something in their hands that I had to capture this.
And it seems better when people, like, a lot of people prefer, like you have a preference for reading to people with phones or something like that?
Absolutely. Although, I once, I like vintage pictures. That one right there.
There it is. Yeah.
So you see newspapers and the book. There's the one guy with the phone, but still, this is not what you see every day. And this is a recent picture. This is not really that old, last year. So I loved it, yeah. I love people reading.
And at the same time, all these people are, kind of on different planes too. Like that's the other thing
correct.
About this, that picture that
so
also...
the composition, there's movement, there are the many angles, and they're all wearing masks. It's still interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When did you go back to work in an office?
September 21.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you, and what were you were you on the subway much between then?
Yeah, I had to. It was sad. The beginnings were sad. I'm so happy to see how we're back to almost normal.
Mm-hmm. And but by September 21, you were photographing already again.
Oh, of course. I couldn't wait to go back to photographing, but I really didn't know what I was going to find, and it was difficult to really capture good moments.
Do you ever ride the subway just to photograph?
Yes, I have done that. Mostly when I'm on vacation. So I've been in Berlin on the train, going back and forth, just so I can enjoy the moment. This is the thing: is that to me, you don't get to know the real people of a place until you see them in the most natural state, which is when they are commuting. They're relaxed on their own thoughts. They're not thinking about there's this woman taking pictures of me. So people's real. And I love to see that. So I've done that in the Paris Metro, like I said, in Berlin. Even when I went to Barcelona, there was no need whatsoever for me to take their subway. I did just because I had to. And no matter where I go, there's really...
When I travel, yeah. I don't do it in New York very much. Like it's rare. I mean, I guess the nostalgia tour is a little different. That's like an event you're going to photograph. Yes. But I don't really, I don't ride the subway just to do it here. But if I go to another city, I want to try their subway, and I want to see what it feels like, and I want to see what it's like to take pictures. Yeah.
Yes, even in Scotland last year, in Glasgow, I mean, the train is the cutest train. It's only like 3 cars, and it goes a very, very small loop. And I just went into the loop like 3 times so I could take pictures.
There's a lot of eye contact in your pictures.
Oh, yes. I love eye contact. Those are the thrilling moments. To me, it's like that I feel the rush in my blood when I get to make eye contact with somebody.
And so that's confusing because they're making eye contact with your phone.
No,
they're making eye
me.
contact with you.
With me.
So they're looking at you. They're not quite looking. And let me see if...
Yes, no, they're not looking to the phone.
Yeah, so
these are my friends, by the way.
Okay,
that is
I was going to ask you about...
This is the only picture of
it's sort of
people posing for me.
Right,
They're my friends. I should have said that. I never did, but yes, they're my friends.
That's okay. There's sort of 2 men, one with a beard. They're wearing kind of like tweedy jackets and a boa. One of them's wearing, but they're standing above you. Yeah, so that's one of the rare ones
that doesn't count.
Yeah, that one doesn't count. Okay,
the only one.
Right.
I love reflections, so I'm reflected there.
Mm-hmm. And so this is a picture where you are.
Yes.
Like there's a man looking out the window of the train.
Yes.
And he sees you.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there's another person sort of in profile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I just noticed that person behind them. And then there's 2 people reflected, and you were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a case where, he's not quite looking at the lens. So he's looking at the...
That's correct.
Uh-huh. And so do you think he saw you taking pictures?
No, if they had noticed that I was taking a picture, probably there will be something else like, what are you doing? Or their attitude will change. No, you can tell when they have no clue. And there's no way that anybody will know.
And have you ever had someone figure it out what you were doing?
At the very beginning, yes, because I was, before I had the remote trigger, I used to have the earphones with the cable. You could take the picture from...
from the volume button?
From the volume.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So somehow this woman noticed, and she got upset. And so I explained to her what I was doing, and she was still upset. And then it ended up bad for her because she started making fun of my accent. And like, oh, you shouldn't be here. You should go back to your country type of thing that you don't expect to hear in New York. And we were in the E train in Queens. Excuse me, you look around, I think you are the one that doesn't belong to the city. And people around her that at first they were like reacting to, oh, what is this woman doing taking pictures? They all sided with me, and it was very bad for her. But that was the only case.
You have a very architectural, structural eye, I can tell. People are framed indoors.
Oh my
People
God,
are
I try to frame everything.
Between two dark jackets. People are framed between the poles. There's one, I don't know.
And then the poles need to be straight. I straighten everything I can straighten. It's an obsession.
So that's kind of one of the rules you have for like what's a good picture.
To me.
It has to be, well, I mean, that's what architectural photography is. Yeah.
I guess I can't help it. Yes.
You sometimes take pictures of yourself on the subway.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And is that about a dialogue with your followers?
I think yes, it's like I'm real. And if you ever see me and recognize me, okay, here I am. I'm one of us.
Has anybody recognized you?
No.
And has anybody come back to you and said, "Oh, you took a picture of my friend"? Or...
Yes, that happened several times. Like in some of the posts, or mostly in the stories. Oh, you have no idea. It's, oh, I know so-and-so. This, I'm going to send a picture to this person. Like, what a coincidence. Yes, that happens. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Does that encourage you, discourage you?
No, encourages me. I never take pictures that let anybody in shame. So, sure, I say, share it. Send them my link. I mean, absolutely. I love when that happens.
I've had it happen a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So you were just talking about you don't want to shame people or something like that. So what's a picture you won't take? We all set up rules for what's okay, mm-hmm. what's not okay. So what are your guidelines?
Yeah, I don't capture misery. I don't capture pain or violence, conflict. So I set my eyes on what inspires me, what I like, and maybe I keep attracting more of that. And with all the many years that I've been living here in the city, I have only less than a handful of bad experiences in the train. Obviously, I've heard of so many terrible stories, and yes, terrible things happened, but that's not my experience. So I keep away from everything bad and just capture the good life of it.
Do you generally feel safe on the train?
Yes. I grew up in a very unsafe city, Caracas. You were unsafe absolutely everywhere. So I'm used to looking around and making sure, things are covered. And I don't feel unsafe. I mean, there have been moments in which, no, I better move away from here. Things like that, yes, of course. But to say that I feel unsafe, no, I do not.
Interesting. And have you ever taken a picture that you then were like, I shouldn't post this one?
Well, I did one, and I had to remove immediately because, but it was kind of cool, especially with the black and white contrast. It was this guy walking in front of me on Court Square, transfer between the E and the G, and he's wearing this big jacket, black jacket, and in the back there are big letters that I don't think I can repeat here.
You can, but yeah.
And so obviously it was like, wow. I post the picture, and then I felt maybe I could be banned, or this could damage, my, I don't know, the viewers, or the way the algorithm work. I don't know.
Oh, because it's going to have an F-bomb in it or something like that.
Maybe,
It's
who
gonna,
knows?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
It could be,
Yeah.
it could play against me, and so I removed it. That's the only one.
Okay. I just pulled up a picture because we were talking about not wanting to show misery, not wanting to show shame.
Yes.
One of the most visible things, certainly since the
Yes.
pandemic, is people living, sleeping,
Yes.
lying down
Yes.
on the subway. It's rare to walk into a
Yes.
car without someone lying down.
Yes.
And so I pulled up this picture,
Yes.
and I want you to tell me about it.
Well,
Or just describe it for the listeners.
yes, this is just to showcase what we get to see a lot. But I didn't want it to make it look like, oh, the misery is so terrible. You don't see the person's face, right? This person it was sleeping on the subway. All you see is from his knees down. He's silent. It was difficult to me to decide to post it, but it's a reality that we live and we see. Now, again, this is pre-pandemic. The reality today have changed. Being aggravated, and it's a problem. You feel bad from both ways. From the people that do not have a home. There are so many, and obviously for all of us that sometimes, face some hard moments. I wouldn't have posted this picture had it been today.
Interesting. I mean, I didn't notice the date. I think there's just something about it that is about. It's a real kind of emptiness about the picture.
I
It's
said
an empty
silence, but you said emptiness. That's exactly how I feel. But it's there.
Yeah, it's an empty frame in the empty, like a missing poster. It's
Exactly,
like
the poster's
almost
also missing.
bench.
Yes.
And is this full frame, or are you also cutting? Do you like?
I didn't. It was not a full
You
frame.
don't.
It never
was not.
was.
So you crop, and that's yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It
yeah.
never was.
And just again, the textures in this and the tonal range in this. Is
Yes, and
really
it's the
nice.
silence to me. When I see that, all I hear is the rattling of the train, and perfect silence, which sometimes we experience so many times.
Your pictures have gotten sharper over time.
Yes.
And is that your editing? Is that the lens? Is it everything?
Both. It's everything. Yes. Obviously, at the beginning, I was just having fun, but like I said, I'm becoming more and more demanding of the quality of the pictures I take. So yes, when you see the early pictures, I love them because it's how it got me started. But nowadays, most of them I will never post.
What patterns do you notice in your pictures? Over time, what things have you noticed that maybe have changed, or things that you didn't realize you were interested in that you are interested in?
I think I now looking more for these unique characters that this city has so many to offer, and it's so fascinating. So now that I drive the G train so much, I'm really looking for these characters that you only find in this city, or perhaps in other bigger cities like London and Berlin, and that it is so unique. And I noticed that my eyes been driven to these characters more lately. But perhaps because being on the G train, you get more of that than anywhere else, which I love. But perhaps that's the change that I could say is the most recent. Mm-hmm. There was a time in which I liked to capture the train, the drivers. I had some very nice ones. But lately hasn't been, for some reason, the moment doesn't appear. During those days, it was like right in front of me, and I captured so many of them. That doesn't happen anymore with that same frequency. The close-ups are gone. It's very difficult, although there's one that I found so beautiful. It's this beautiful lady with the afro, and the lipstick is the glossiness of the lipstick, her makeup, everything to me, and then the shadow, the play of shadows of the pictures is, I find that an amazing picture. I love it. But I don't get many opportunities to do close-ups anymore.
Yeah, it's harder now that the subway isn't so crowded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I get crowded subways. For some reason, it's not the same. It's just not the same. Something changed.
Do you feel like we're in this interesting moment in New York where, like you said, things happen on the subway all the time. People are paying a lot more attention to it, and maybe levels of fear are out of sync with what's actually happening. Do you feel like, what do you see, not necessarily what do you feel for yourself, but what do you see in other people? Do you see that nervousness? Do you see a discomfort, or not really? Or
Not at all. I don't. People still try to keep their distance, but I think that is the only change that I can say. I do not perceive any fear from anybody.
And you said you've photographed in, what was it, Barcelona, and London, and Berlin, other places. So,
London, Paris, Madrid.
So what's different here, or what's different there?
I think there's diversity. Definitely nothing like I've seen here. Next, there's London, Paris, and Berlin. You will find great diversity, but perhaps because this is my daily commute, I get to see more, and that is what I loved about the commuting on the New York City subway since I moved in. It was experiencing diversity so close to me in one small space. Yes, you find diversity in all these many great cities, but the New York seems special to me. It's just, you can never tell. I'm just there wondering what's the language this person is talking, or where does this come from, and like nonstop wherever you turn. It's so diverse. It's fascinating.
And so let's talk about the sort of social media aspect of this. One of the things I'm curious about is, like, how does that help you, guide you? This isn't like a total influencer account and you're trying to, your every third shot is of like a product placement or something. But how does the interaction with your audience shape what you're doing? If you'd gotten less feedback at the beginning, you might not have kept it up. Or how has that gone?
Yes, of course. At the beginning, once I started seeing, people reacting positively to it and following me, of course, that drove me to, okay, let me do more and do it better. Yes, that's definitely a big driver. And I wish I would understand the algorithm better so that my account could grow. But I raise my hands here, like I give up. I will not try to figure this out. I'll just do it because I enjoy it. But there was a time I was really trying to figure it out, how to reach, further. But forget it. It's too complicated.
What's your dream for what this could be? Like, what do you want this to become, or?
Oh, how to become? No, it's just a reflection of, again, what I see with my own eyes that I love so much. I really have, Woody Allen's Manhattan, he says, I love New York, totally out of proportion. This is me right here. And I think this is what I'm just keep pouring out of me. I cannot stop. But not because there's an end goal or there's an agenda behind this that I want this to be this or that. Not at all.
You use these pictures to describe the city, but you've also probably learned from this process. So what has this sharpened in you and how you see people?
Again, since you see so many characters, so many people from so many cultures and backgrounds and moments in time, I always like to see people and try to understand them. And this is what drives me to see closely into people when I make eye contact. It's like, what are you trying to tell me? Is there, is this fascination for humanity that's what you see here. I don't know what else to say about it.
It's fine.
It's as real as that.
Architecture is about people in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this I mean, I see you thinking about or looking at people in space, and I'm wondering if it. Do you get ideas for your work from this ever? Do you like, or it's not really related?
Not really, not related at all. I mean, the only aspect that you could relate it to what I do, it's the way I frame the pictures, like you're saying, my straight lines, my angles. But I don't see how, I don't apply what I have learned by taking these pictures into my work. I mean, or perhaps I should say, in my work, or the office in which I work, we truly value the human aspect of and that the fact that what we do is to ultimately serve you, to serve all of us, right? So I think in any case is to keep valuing humanity and not the space, it's the people that really matters.
And is there a station you love best?
Yes, for taking pictures, around the corner, 14th Street.
Oh, Union Square.
Oh, yes, Union Square is the best of all.
Mm-hmm. And that's just because it's a magnet for characters?
For characters,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's rushing, but it's, and also the play of lights. It's just, that's my favorite.
Do you have other people who do this that you follow and like particularly?
I follow a lot of people around the world, but there's so many that I am ashamed to say. It's not like I know so-and-so. I follow a lot of people, yeah.
And do you see like people in other cities who do this? I've looked for accounts.
I would like to get more, like I would love to find, perhaps the algorithm hasn't reached out to my feed, so I could like, oh, look at this from London or look at this from Paris. Not that many. I used to follow somebody from Mexico City that had fantastic pictures, but it's been years. But
On
that
the
one
subway?
had, yes, amazing pictures, and I never seen any other picture from them. I don't know if they stopped or the algorithm just not bringing it to my feed. I don't know.
I'll ask you for their handle.
Yes,
when we're done.
yes, that was amazing.
No,
one.
there's a guy in Buenos Aires who, Sublecturas, it's called, and he used to take pictures of people reading on the train, and now it's more like he's curating pictures that other people sent him.
Oh,
so,
great!
Yeah.
I'm going to check your Instagram and get everybody you follow.
Okay, great. Is there something we haven't talked about that you, or a picture that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about, or?
I think we have covered a lot. We have mentioned some of my very favorites and why I do what I do. No, I think it's been fantastic in showcasing my Instagram account. I'm so honored that you invited me. This is the first, and of course, I'm thrilled.
Well, that's great. So, Nina, how can people find you, your work?
Well, I have 2 accounts on Instagram. Nina_@NYC is the one that perhaps showcases like my interest in architectural photography. And then Nina_@NYC_subway, which is where I have all these pictures that we're talking about today.
All right, well, great. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's been great.
You've been listening to Metropolitan Faces, the podcast about subway photography. For more about Nina R., check out Nina at NYC Subway on Instagram. That's Nina_AT_NYC_Subway. All one word. You can also find the things we talked about today through the show notes, and those will be at metropolitanfaces.com or through our Instagram account, Metropolitan Faces, which is all one word. You can find and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. We've also got an email newsletter, and you can subscribe to that at, you guessed it, metropolitanfaces.com. Metropolitan Faces is a production of Noun and Verb Rodeo. Our team includes Maddie Berger and Julie Subrin. This episode was made possible by support from the Lang Faculty Opportunity Fund at the New School, which is where we're recording today. I'm Blake Eskin. Until next time, stand clear of the closing doors.